Thailand captured 20 Cambodian soldiers after they agreed to a ceasefire with Cambodia. Today, they only released 2. One came back with a broken arm and unable to even walk. The other had lost his mind and is considered to have psychological trauma. How could this happen? Just 8 hours after Thailand agreed to a ceasefire.
And this is why they agreed to a ceasefire. Because they knew that they'd done this, and what can Cambodia do? They're going to either have to take this on the chin and take this as a loss and not do anything to avenge the people, or they are to retaliate, which is to then break the ceasefire. Thailand knows exactly what it's doing. They know exactly what they're doing. It's it's difficult for even Thai nationals now to begin explaining or making excuses for the actions of their military personnel, because nobody is blaming all Thai people, you know? Nobody is doing that. Some of the attitudes of the people of Thailand are a little bit off base right now, you know, laughing at people being chemically bombed. Unbelievable.
With Cambodia, they had captured 20 Cambodian soldiers. According to Bangkok Post, their reasoning was that Cambodia had violated the ceasefire and fired heavy artillery into Thai territory, which led to the Thai military responding through counterattacks and clearing Cambodian positions. But here is the problem. Reports from independent journalists and international news outlets that were at the scene all said that it was completely quiet after midnight, which was when the ceasefire took effect. No sounds of attacks, explosions, conflicts, or clashes at the border at all. Then Thailand's story shifted. Now they say that 2 of the Cambodian soldiers were found stranded in Thai territory instead. So, which is it?
Well, this is the thing. When he was saying, they broke the ceasefire, but it was quiet, I was thinking in defense of Thailand, perhaps it wasn't so quiet and the shots were going off in places where there was nobody around. But then if you're shifting the story and you're now saying something completely different, kind of looks like you can't get your story straight. And if you can't get your story straight, you're not telling the truth, because the truth is linear. There is one truth. You should just be able to say it.
My heart knowing that there are still 18 Cambodian soldiers who are being held captive and Thailand refuses to let them go. We have no clue on how they are being treated behind the scenes, especially when Thailand said that they are being interrogated for information, making this a violation of not just the Geneva Conventions, but also the customary international humanitarian law, which states you are not allowed to take prisoners of war after the ceasefire has been agreed. The ceasefire is in effect. There are no more conflicts. Please release our soldier.
I don't know what anybody from the other side can say to that, because I only say that because I've seen a lot of people from Thailand in the comment sections talking about the Geneva Convention, about how Cambodia have broken it. Like, what is this? What is this? We're looking at exactly the same thing that you're accusing somebody of. However, we have proof in this instance. We don't have proof of the 18 people that you still have. If you don't free them, don't make Britain come for them. Do not make Britain come for them. Don't make us do it. Do not make us do it. You don't want white nationalists on your border. You do not want that. The world doesn't want that. That's why they try and keep us down. You don't want that. 18 people left. Free them up.
Pisses me off that some people still think that Cambodia broke the ceasefire. Recently, Cambodia and Thailand had agreed to a ceasefire, and only a few hours later, Thailand had accused Cambodia of breaking the said ceasefire. Let me ask you this. Who is more likely to break the ceasefire? The country that asked for a ceasefire 3 separate...
I will be honest. The whole thing of who is more likely to, I don't really particularly like that talk, because it's not as if, I see Andrew Mam's like this. Awesome. I don't know. You can't, especially within times of war, you can't guarantee that a side is going to take a specific stance on anything, you know? During World War II, there were relationships gained and broken that nobody could have seen coming, you know? In times of war, especially in times of World War, there are things that happen that sometimes can barely be explained. They could never be seen coming. So I don't want to hear like, oh, they're more likely to do that. Because yes, whilst, you know, it's very unlikely for Cambodia, being such a small nation, being an LDC, it's very unlikely for them to take arms against military personnel they know to be much stronger than them. It doesn't make a lot of sense, but it doesn't mean that it's impossible. It doesn't mean that it didn't happen, you know? Likewise, it's so obvious, it seems, that this is provocation and aggravation from Thailand, but it doesn't make it definite, you know? We can't really speak with absolutes on any matter until we have hard proof, hard evidence, you know?
Times, or the country that rejected the ceasefire 3 separate times. Cambodia has rejected any claims that we broke the ceasefire, and any reporters on scene had rejected that any sort of fighting happened ever since the ceasefire began. Not just one, not just two, but 3 different reporters from 3 different news outlets. Even Thailand's own acting prime minister said that there is no escalation. The Thai army is known to go against their own government and act on their own. You can even search this up. Why would we break the ceasefire when we were the ones who pushed this issue to the International Court of Justice, while they had rejected any sort of help from the ICJ, from any other countries? Why would...
And it kind of waxes lyrical, you know. The same thing is happening in with Israel and Palestine. The same thing is happening where Palestine have asked for peace. Israel and the USA have blocked any chance of that happening for the last, I don't know, 60 years, 50 odd at least. But let's say 50 years, they've been blocking it. They've vetoed it every single time that a peace deal or a peace treaty has been put on, or a 2-state solution has been put on the table. It's been rejected. And the side that's been rejecting it is just so happens to be the one that's winning the war. Could that be why they rejected it? You know, it's the same thing with Thailand. If they thought in their heads that they were going to take Cambodia over eventually, then they would never agree to a peace deal. Because they wouldn't want peace. They need instability within the region. They need that instability. And they also need it because, as I understand it, the whole structure of government within Thailand is being rearranged. Now, there are militarists and there are royal separatists. There are people who swear allegiance to the royal crown. If you're from Thailand, I feel sorry for you. You're basically under the same dictatorship that we are here in the UK. You have a monarchy, which means that you have certain people that are above the law. That's a dictatorship, okay? Whether you want to agree with it or not, whether you think you live like that or not, you do. I've been to your country. You do.
Smaller country with military forces 3 times smaller than their opponent would want to continue the fight. It makes no sense. I am so happy because this time Cambodians are finally being heard and Thailand's web of lies are finally being exposed. The hashtag expose Thailand's lies has been trending on X ever since last night, and people are finally knowing the truth. Stop lying.